Lick number 5, Fishtail. This is a steel lick that shows off two big steel guitar concepts. One is to use one of the chord tones as kind of a pivot point for building melodies off of, and another one is to use bend releases to do diatonic approach notes from above to resolve down to chord tones. We're going to do this in the key of C, and it's going to be a 5 chord leading into a 1 chord. Let's check it out. Okay, so we're in the key of G, and I'm starting here on the 5th of G. Okay, and I'm going to be moving in and out of that 5th. So I'm going to play my 5, and I'm going to do what's called a lower neighbor. So in other words, just dropping down to, this could be a diatonic step, it could be a half step. In this case, I'm doing a half step or chromatic approach. And then sliding back into the 5. Now I'm going to play the root, come back to that 5. So I'm kind of pivoting off of it, the 2, back to the 5. So that's my pivot point. Now I'm going to change it up, and I'm going to start doing approach notes down to chord tones. Okay, so the chord tones that I'm aiming for are the 3rd, the 5th, and the root. So I'm going to start by playing the root and 3rd and do a pre-bend into the 4, which is just a half step, and resolve down to the 3rd. They're going to come up here to the 3rd and 5th, pre-bend up to the 6th, resolve down to the 5th. Now I'm going to slide into the 3rd of the G, play that dominant 7, and bend up to the 9, and release it down to the root. Now to resolve on my 1 chord, I'm picking this C major triad here with the 5th on the bottom. I'm going to pre-bend my E, my 3rd, to the 4, and release it so I get that 4 to 3 release. Now notice the fingerings that I'm using. I'm using my 3rd and pinky and keeping my 1st finger free. This looks like a little cramped in here, but keeping that 1st finger for the bend is going to make all these bends easier to control and easier to get in tune. Doing that with the 2nd finger is going to be really tough unless you have very light strings, and even then, it's kind of hard to control.